In this video I will give you an introduction to the CrystalDiskMark tool. I will go through the function one by one, so you have an understanding on what functions each button has. The first button is the All button. It's actually a no-brainer. It will start all the below tests. In the first drop-down box you can set the number of test runs you want to run against the disk or the storage. In the next drop-down box you will set the size of the test file you want to run against the system. If you, for example, will want to test a SSD drive, you will set it for 1 gigabit in test size. But if you have a controller with, for example, a 4 gigabit in cache, then you need at least 8 gig test file to eliminate the cache. If you don't exceed the cache memory, then you are actually testing cache throughput, not disk throughput. The last drop-down box is the drive you want to test. I will choose my SSD drive in this demo. Below the All button you have the SQL Q32T1. This is SQL reads writes with a queue length of 32 and a threads of 1. The queue length is the number of outstanding requests on the disk, and the threads is simulating a user. You can actually in this tool set the queue length and threads so you can vary the loads, but one of the key things to storage testing is to be consistent with your test, so you don't have different sets of data with different sets of loads. I like to keep it simple, so I use the default setting. The next button is the 4KQT1, and this is similar like the previous one, also with a queue length of 32 and a threads of 1. The 4KQ32T1 is acting like a SQL server will act against the storage. The last two buttons is a SQL and 4K without any queue length and threads applied. You can run one of the tests as an independent test, but I normally use the All button and just run all of the tests. When you press the All button, it will take about 5 to 7 minutes before you have the result. The SQL will always be the highest number, and this is where the storage or disk will shine. So this is the limit or the maximum you ever will get from this storage or disk. Another consideration you need to take into account is the RAID penalty if you have, for example, a RAID 5 or 6. In the next two segments I will make a test on my SSD drive, and after that I will have an example of a storage. In this case it is a HP 3PAR with a RAID 5 on it. I will advise that you take a screenshot every time you use this tool so you have something for later reference, and put it in the project folder.